Hi everyone, I'm Ross Hero. Welcome to the Weird Homes Tour Virtual Austin edition. I am here in one of our more interesting homes collection-wise. So I'm really stoked to be able to share this experience with you. This home is called the Giraffe House, and I think you'll very quickly see why. Let's give him a knock. Hi.
And welcome to the Giraffe House.
It's the Giraffe House with two puppies.
These are my two dachshunds. This is Daisy. This is Lucy. Lucy is 4. Daisy is 9. Fun fact, they're both service dogs.
Awesome. Well, let's come on in and see. It's the Giraffe House. All right, come on in, step inside. And like I said, I think you'll quickly see why this is called the Giraffe House. So, this is the homeowner, Autumn.
Hi, guys.
So do you want to talk a little bit just about your, at a high level or your collection and how maybe this even got started?
So the way it got started was when I was in the 6th grade. I got the amazing opportunity to be a part of an after-school program at the Gladys Porter Zoo called STS, Students Teaching Students. And it's where kids get to learn about animal facts and then eventually present the animals to the public. So I had the amazing opportunity to participate in that and get to present the animals. And it was then when a gentleman stood up, asked a question. Don't remember what the question was, but my answer was, that's an awesome question. I'm so sorry I don't have that answer for you. Please, at the end of the show, get me your name, number, and we'll get that information to you at the end of the day. And thank you so much for the opportunity to help me learn something, and because that's what this program's all about. And it turns out he was really important to the zoo, and he was so impressed with my answer that he allowed me to shadow one of the zookeepers. Oh. And the zookeepers that I got to shadow were the giraffe enclosure.
Wow, it was like a pop quiz experience.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's actually start behind or over here. There's this interesting, I'm not really sure what it's called. It's not a painting per se, artwork, if you will.
So this is what's considered string art. It's recently became really popular again. Me and my mom think that this one was made in the 1960s. The story that we got was it was done by a taxidermy's wife. So that is an actual vintage taxidermy eye. And the gentleman had an actual giraffe specimen that he was working on. And the wife went up to the giraffe fur and combed pieces of the fur out and then took other fragments of other animal hairs to make this pretty mesh that you see right here. So this is probably the only piece in my collection that probably has actual fragments of giraffes in it.
It's awesome. It's beautiful. It's a super cool piece. And even if that's not all giraffe, I don't know, it's fur maybe the right thing?
Yeah.
It definitely replicates kind of the pattern, like really nice.
Yes, it's very lifelike.
Yeah. So let's keep moving. I want to go through the kitchen. Understandably, places set here for the giraffe plates and whatnot, right?
Yes, these are my giraffe plates. And of course, you can't have dinner at my house unless you have the giraffe silverware to go with it. And then
They should be, I feel like they should be longer than other. Like you should be able to eat them like from here to your plate. They should be longer.
really give you that long neck experience.
Neck, yeah, absolutely. I also am spotting something else interesting, no pun intended there, but the tea kettle here.
Yes, this was a find on Shop Goodwill. This was actually something that I wasn't sure if they would make it, but it was just a find, and I just had to have it. Probably bid a little too much for it, but it was totally worth it.
Yeah, that's a super cool, that's just like a, I don't know. I would say conversation piece, but there's so many interesting pieces in your home that are conversation pieces.
Another fun fact about this, when it goes off, it sounds like an old car horn.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
That's not, just to be clear, that's not how a giraffe sounds, right?
No, giraffes actually hum.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. On that note, what about these on top of the fridge, these other pieces up here?
So this is a plant holder, and unfortunately I do not have a green thumb. This is another vintage piece that I have. And I love Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is one of my favorite drinks. This is actually a wine bottle holder, but I had to put a Dr. Pepper in it.
I mean, we're in Texas. When you're in Texas, you got to support Dr. Pepper.
Of course.
Yeah. So let's keep moving through the rest of the home, and you can maybe call out or or tell us some of your favorite ones. We have some pieces prominently on display here for, I said it's almost furniture, luggage. Talk to me a little bit about this luggage.
So this is a luggage set that one of my old co-workers, Bailey, gave to me. So Bailey, thanks. I mainly put this right here because this shelf I just got, and it, as you can see, it doesn't have too many pieces yet. The main reason why I got this is because a lovely lady named Anne Marie, I'm sorry, horrible at names. She's gifting me her giraffe collection.
Whoa.
Yeah, and that's going to be about 250 pieces. So this is one of the shelves that her collection that she's being so kind to give to me is going to go on.
250 additional pieces?
Yes.
That's quite a get. And that's just she's just donating or giving it to you?
I am giving her a little bit of money for gas.
I mean, that makes sense. It's 250 giraffe pieces. So of course. Now, if you're also in the mood or wondering if giraffes can be seasonal, Santa has apparently ditched Rudolph and the other reindeer and has opted for a giraffe, which might be more efficient for him to get up to the chimneys, I would think.
Yes, me too. That's what I was thinking.
Let's come through here. Now, let's start to the right here. We have a light, a Giraffe Light. Talk to me a little bit about that.
So this one's relatively new. My mom gave this one early for me. This is a gift from Santa, and she said Santa dropped it off early.
Thanks, Santa.
So that way we could have it for the tour. I have a matching one in the bedroom, and whenever I have what's called doubles, I like to name them off of married couples. So I'm thinking about naming them after Elvis and his wife.
Oh, that's good. Now we have doubles right here, too, moving over a little bit.
This is Lucy. And from Lucy Baldwin, I Love Lucy. And as you know, her husband was Ricardo. So this is Ricardo.
That's awesome. So does every piece in here, every giraffe have a name?
Just about every giraffe has a name. I do have one big giraffe that does not have a name.
Okay. That's not this guy, though, right? This guy has a name.
This is George. He's my biggest and funnest piece. And if he was easy to move, he would probably be the piece that everybody would try to steal. And as you can see,
George is responsibly masking. Good on George.
Yes.
Thank you, George. Now, for what it's worth, the 6 feet difference, he might be good as tall as he is over us, 6 feet up, as opposed to 6 feet in distance. So he might still be okay. Socially distancing is easy for a giraffe, I guess.
Very easy.
So how did you say you got this piece?
So I was on Facebook, the Facebook for sale page, and I just typed in giraffes, and he was listed for free. So I messaged the lady, and unfortunately, George had already had a home at this time. But we started talking about how I like giraffes, and she's like, yeah, my daughter, she loves giraffes. She's heartbroken about giving him away. Due to family circumstances, they were having to downsize. And after talking to her, inviting her daughter over to my home to see my giraffes, her daughter looked at my Facebook and she's like, Mommy, Autumn's got to have this giraffe. So they were kind enough to bring to him on my lunch break, and we had a giraffe-erific time.
Wow, that is awesome. George is a great addition. Mm-hmm. You know, he's kind of, I guess, like the well, he's definitely the biggest, right? Yeah. I mean, I think if you had anything bigger, I don't know if you would fit him in here. The neck would have to go down, you know.
The biggest thing about George is we do have an unspoken agreement that if the girl is able to take him back, that he will go back to her.
Oh, that's awesome. George will always have a home, folks. That's a great story for the Weird Homes Tour. Now, as we walk this way and I watch my head for clearance, thanks to my giraffe hat, let's talk about some of the items in the cabinet or in the here on these shelves. Talk to me a little bit about, are these in a particular order? Are there, is there particular items on each shelf that are really meaningful to you?
So the top shelf is going to be where my more breakable and expensive items are. Also, this is the shelf that has the originals that started the collection. And my most expensive is probably going to be this crystal right here. And this one all the way in the back, in the plate, and this one wooden giraffe are what started the collection originally.
They're the OG giraffes, original giraffes. Okay. What about on this shelf?
So on this shelf, we got my sunglasses, some more funky figurines, like this one's made out of wax. You know, if you're from the 90s, you know the slap bracelets, or I'm 28, so I don't know how many of y'all remember those like googly eye pets, but there's one of the googly eye pets. And of course, you got to have some bubbles, you know?
Before we move down, I do want to ask you, we have a little bit of an odd duck on this shelf.
Yes, we do.
Well, we have that, but then beside it, the koala, right? What's the story with the koala?
So, the koala is the first stuffed animal that my dad ever gave me as a baby. So it's kind of a family joke of you got a koala bear, but yet you're with the giraffes. And if you peer over into this corner on this vintage giraffe riding toy is my original giraffe. That's Mr. Koali, and that is the first stuffed animal that I got as a baby.
So the koala was the first animal, but you veered into the giraffes for sure. But we still have little nods, right?
Yes.
Tips of the cap, if you will, tip of the giraffe cap to koalas. Now, what about on this shelf? I'm seeing this really interesting piece that's kind of made out of like wire. Is there a story behind that?
Yes, so this is one of my more darker pieces in my collection. This is actually from Africa. I got it at the Houston Zoo. And what the tribe does is they go around and find traps that the poachers set up, and they take the traps down and make these beautiful sculptures from it. And if I remember correctly, I think they said 85% of the proceeds goes back to the tribe so they can keep that work up.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Okay, well, let's keep moving. We're now going to move into your bedroom and see the giraffe accoutrements here in the bedroom. Obviously, we have the sticker here. We have the accompanying lamp that you discussed, right? Okay, now this piece, this is a piece that has actually recently made news here in Austin, Texas. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this?
So full-time I work at a bank, and going grocery shopping and working at the bank, you know, a lot of people were very worried and upset with the whole entire COVID. And I wanted a way to not only keep myself safe, but bring some cheer, you know, to everybody. So I had this costume from last year, and I thought, what a great way to rewear it and then walking around H-E-B doing my grocery shopping.
Now, this one, if I remember, we were talking, this one does not have a name, right? This is one of the few that doesn't have a name.
That is correct. She does not have a name. I do make it a girl since I'm a girl. I usually have a pink hair bow that I put in her ear so everybody knows I'm a girl.
So at the store, they know, this is a female giraffe walking around. All right, that's good. That's good. So we want to solicit if anyone out there has any good names, really good. Everyone loves a good pun, right? But a good name for this giraffe. Feel free to hit up Weird Homes Tour. They'll relay it back to Autumn for sure. Now, behind you, there's I don't know exactly. Is this a quilt? Is that the proper blanket? What are we looking at here?
This is a crocheted blanket. So there's a lady in New Brownsville that does amazing crochet work, and my mom had a blanket made for herself. My mom loves owls, so my mom had an owl one made, and I just fell in love with it. And I was like, oh, I really want a giraffe one. So this is what my mom got me for my birthday that year, was this beautiful giraffe crocheted blanket.
So I have to ask you, on that note, you got this as a gift. Your mom gave you Santa delivered early, very kind of him, the other lamp. When it comes to getting you gifts, birthday, Christmas, what have you, whatever you, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate, whatever the gift-giving time of the year is it easy to give you something? Is it as easy as just finding anything giraffe-themed, or do you have a little bit more particular tastes?
I think as my collection has gotten bigger, I think it's been a little harder for my friends and family to get me gifts. But definitely before my collection got this big, it got really fun, especially because you can't just walk into a store nowadays and find something that's giraffe. So if you stumble upon it at a garage sale, or you look online and find it, makes it a little special because they actually spent the time to look for it.
So you have kind of a list that you can provide people, right? I mean, is that okay? Because when it comes to doubles, you won't turn it away. But listen, you're a collector. You want unique pieces, right?
Correct. So I have my wonderful friend Victoria and Travis recently came over, and we did an inventory of my collection, counted everything, and so we have a giant Excel sheet, so that way people can see, okay, this is what she has, this is what she doesn't have, and we kind of made a little wish list.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So we understandably and obviously we have this giraffe kind of bedspread here. It's actually a really cool pattern. I dig that for sure. Then if we go into the bathroom area here, I think there are some items maybe you wanted to talk about. I think you have some jewelry here that may be even giraffe themed, right?
Yes, of course. We girls, we love our accessories, right, ladies? So here's some of my accessories. My hairbrush. You know, what better hairbrush to use than a giraffe print hairbrush? And of course, you got to have a giraffe hair straightener and dryer and giraffe shower cap.
That kind of thing. You're able to just find that. That's not custom made. Just, that is something you're just able to come across, huh?
Yep.
Wow.
I was
Okay.
actually at the mall at one of those kiosks that advertise it, and I happened to say, "Do you have giraffe print?" And he's like, "Actually, I have one set left," and I just had to.
One set. So maybe there are even more giraffe collectors out there that we don't even know about. And also, this is really cool. I like this piece right here.
Yeah, that's
this
one
is like
of
a
my vintage
brooch,
brooches.
right? Yeah, that's awesome.
And this right here, this is Walsher tape. This is my best friend because since it's hard to find giraffe print stuff, I kind of always have to do my DIY projects.
We'll giraffe it.
Yeah.
It's been giraffed. Awesome. Well, let's go back into the living room because I do think I have some. I went online while I was preparing. Watch your step there. While I was preparing, and I found online some here, we'll go in front of George over here. I found some giraffe facts. I found them on giraffefacts.org. That's not a website you own, right?
No, it's not. I'm sorry.
It's not a great website, but I will say it lives up to its name. It certainly had giraffe facts, right? So I have 6 here, and I thought I'd share them with you, and you may even be able to add on to some of these things, right? Or I seriously doubt these are going to be things that you don't know, right? But I thought it'd be interesting for the viewers at home. They can learn about giraffes. It's learning, educational. Okay, so first fact, giraffe facts. Jam them together. Within 10 hours of being born, a baby giraffe can run.
That is correct. And it's also a 5-foot drop from the birth canal that they have to make.
I mean, listen, if you're the giving birth to a human is pretty intense, but rarely, I think, if ever, do humans have to fall 5 feet upon birth. So that's something to really have to recover from pretty quick. And within 10 hours, they're like, we're cool. We're going to run around now.
Also, the bad thing about newborn baby giraffes is when they're born, that's when their neck is at their most fragilest. And it's at that 2-week stage when a lot of baby giraffes have passed away in their enclosures because they've fallen and broken their necks.
Oh, protect those. Do they need to give them like styrofoam neck coverings or something? Yeah. All you 3D printing companies out there, we're looking at you. Get to work on that. Okay. Now, I learned that, or read, giraffefacts.org. They're not an official sponsor, just to be clear. They said that a giraffe's age can be determined by the color or darkness of spots. Is that something that's true?
Yes. So we'll use George as an example. So if you look up at George where his cones are on that forehead of his.
Cones are, they're not horns, right?
Right. They're also cones.
Okay, these things.
Correct.
Yeah.
So the giraffe will have bumps on their head, and depending on how many bumps they have on their head, depends on how old they are.
Oh, very cool. Okay. Number 3. The tongue of a giraffe could be as long as like 2 feet. I would assume that's the piece that the tongue may go. I don't know. I don't know anything about giraffe anatomy.
We do have an anatomy set that we can
We
look
do?
at. Yes.
Let's go look at it real quick because my next one's even like related to more giraffe anatomy. What's my head again? I get used to clearance with this giraffe hat. Okay, so this is the Giraffe Anatomy Kit, if you will. So we have, okay, it doesn't talk, but it does talk about something which is my next fact, and that is the giraffe's heart is larger than any other animal's heart. So why would that be?
So you got to think, giraffes have really long necks, and they actually have 7 vertebrae, which are the same as humans. But that heart has got to be strong enough and big enough to pump all that blood to their heads right there, and of course their long legs.
That's a giant, and look where it is too. I mean, I think can you flip this around? I think there's like, it's. I mean, I don't know. It's just very.
It's right there in the center of the chest.
Yeah. Boom. There it is. Biggest heart of any other animal. Now, here's the other thing I learned. Giraffes only get about 20 minutes of deep sound sleep every 24 hours. That's like, they're like in college or something for their whole life, you know? They're slamming Red Bulls, maybe they're drinking Starbucks. I don't know. Did you learn anything about that when you were, you know, in the I don't know, the camp, the course, if you will, or at the zoo, or in all your travels to all the zoos?
Yeah, it was really interesting just to see how they would just stand there and every once in a while just like drop their heads for like 10 minutes and then be up and ready to go. Another fun fact that I really learned about giraffes was the reason why a giraffe's tongue is purple is to protect it from getting sunburned.
One time I went on vacation and I burned the top of my feet. I sunburned them, and it was the pits, everyone. The pits. So could you imagine if you burned your tongue? Like, I'm not talking about, oh, I ate one of those Taco Bell hot sauces. I'm like, legit sunburn on your tongue. That would be a day ruiner. That would suck so much. So that's why they have the dark tongues. Now, this last fact, this is going to blow your mind. All right? This is mind-blowing. It blew my mind. A giraffe kick is so powerful, it can actually decapitate a lion. Ba-ga-ga! Just like a kick. Da! Just like that. You could decapitate a lion. That's crazy.
Yeah, they can kick pretty hard and they can run about at least 35 miles per hour. Yeah.
You mentioned the ossicones. Ossicones? Do they use those at all for, you know, like attack or defense?
Yes, during mating season, they'll throw their heads around and they'll take those ossicones and jam it right into their neck.
That's the males, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boys will be boys. Always hitting other guys with their ossicones. Isn't that the story of life? And then we were talking about this a little bit, and when they're drinking, they kind of have a certain like way that they drink too, in case they got a kick, right?
Correct. So we'll use one of my giraffe stuffed animals as a demonstration. So when a giraffe is drinking water, they'll be down like this, and both their legs will be spread out just like so, give or take. And the reason why they do that is so that way when a predator comes from the back end, they can just kick right there.
And then the kappa is decayed from their head. Their head goes flying right off their body, which I got to watch some more Planet Earth and see if there's any footage of that, because that would blow my mind. So we have toured this very awesome giraffe house. Is there anything that maybe I missed? Any items that you would like to share with the people out there that maybe I missed or that has significance, or anything about giraffes that's of interest?
Let's talk about one piece of my collection that I want to grow a little bit more.
Okay.
And of course, ladies, we love our fashion. So here's some of my giraffe-themed clothes right here. We got some lovely skirts, some pants, leggings, and of course, swimsuit. You can't forget that.
This one's kind of subtly also. Like, from a distance, you may not necessarily be able to tell. It's like right up close when you notice.
It's like my hidden Mickey. I really like it when I have
Yeah.
items that like this.
Yeah.
You can't tell they're a giraffe, but they subtly, if you look, you'll see it. I have another one like that. This is this shirt right here. You'll see the little giraffes right there.
Oh, yeah.
And we got some beautiful custom.
This is another one that's kind of, you know, a little touches, if you will. At the
Correct.
bottom, yeah, here.
And there's a lady on Facebook. Her name's Miranda, and she owns Impressive Designs. She normally does tumblers. I have a few cups of hers, but she's also taken some of my clothes for me and put some iron decals on them
That's awesome.
to give them that giraffe-ness. Like we have
They've
this,
been giraffified.
Yes.
Yeah.
like this jacket right here. It's got that subtle hints of giraffe print.
Oh, yeah, that's when real. Now, these, not so subtle. This
Yeah.
one is not so subtle. This is the least subtle in the closet, except for maybe the blow up outfit for sure.
Correct.
So it goes from, you know, subtle everyday to full on giraffing in the outfit. So on that note, when we're talking about fashion and clothing, I gotta ask, do you have any giraffe hats in your collection?
No, I don't have any giraffe hats. Do you think you can help me with that?
Oh, I can help. I am going to donate this hat, but under one condition.
Okay.
I don't know what my hair looks like. I'd like to name him Ross.
I think we can do that.
Ross is now part of the Giraffe House. Can I find maybe a place where he can hang out?
Of course. choice.
Okay, there's so many good spots. Okay, I'm gonna put him over here because I kind of dig. Like I could put him over near George, but I do think his head's gonna be right in George's butt, and I don't know how George feels about that. So I'm gonna put him down here. You know, kind of just chilling. Ross. Yeah. Oh yeah. This is a vintage piggy bank right here. I see. There's some money in there. Okay. So Ross is gonna this is gonna be his new permanent home. He's gonna be in great hands. He's gonna hang out here at the Giraffe House. The first hat in the collection?
Yes, that is actually the first hat in the collection, and with that will make it at 410 giraffes.
He's number 410 in the giraffe kingdom here at the Giraffe House. Autumn, it has been so much fun being here with you. I love seeing this giraffe collection. There just seems to be so much joy that you get out of this, and that's such a big part of the Weird Homes Tour is these collections, homes that people have, bringing them to you at home. And we want you to embrace this. We want you to embrace the things that bring you joy. And for Autumn, it's giraffes. For you, who knows what the heck that is. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time. The Weird Homes Tour. Be sure to follow us on the social medias at Weird Homes Tour on Facebook and Instagram. Bye.
Bye, guys.